All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Movement Presents Nights at the Round Table. This is round four. Tonight you got me, Twine the Divine Liberty of PoopJab.com, and the movement, of course. And we also got the Truth and Facts About Boxing duo, uh, Bernard and Bo. Um, what's good with y'all fellas tonight, man?
What's
What's good? I
happening,
got
man?
my tea. I'm gonna my tea tonight.
What's going on, man?
All right, we finna get it in on another night of topics, I guess. Real quick, we got a nice little trio of topics we put together for y'all midweek um, on Tuesday. So it's pretty hot already, man. Considering the post, I guess what we heard over the weekend with the Gennady Golovkin and Canelo fight being announced during the pay-per-view broadcast of Canelo versus Chavez Jr. or Julio Cesar Salad, as we've been calling him recently. But with that said, that's going to actually be our first topic of the night. Um, there's a preliminary reports from Dan Raphael that he tweeted earlier. Now, this isn't official, nothing official yet. So, just take this with a grain of salt. But there's reports that this Canelo versus Caesar Salad Jr. Pay-per-view did 1 million plus pay-per-view buys. And we just wanted to know what you guys may think as far as what this means for, as far as the whole notion that pay-per-view is dead. If he actually did do 1 million pay-per-view buys. I'm going to go ahead and start off with Bo on this one, man. Let me get your initial thoughts on this. What this is, just a prelim report right now, so it's not official. Let me get your initial thoughts on it, man. Your initial reaction.
Not surprised. I thought he would do 600K, but I mean, at the end of the day, anybody who didn't think this was going to be a successful pay per view, because of the way this was marketed, who it was targeted for. I've said before, there are three kinds of fights that always sell and make money. Rivalry fights always sell and make money because whenever you have a rivalry, that people are going to come out for it, like Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Um, Whenever you have a good ass villain that everybody fucking hates, and you have a hero that everybody loves, people pay for that fight, and of course race fights. And we hate to say it, but they people for some reason, those are the things that sell if you market it right. And this was a rivalry, in-house rivalry fight. It was for the Pride of Mexico, and you know, the way they advertised it, the way we was led to believe that it might be a different Chavez we're going to see, and everything of that nature. The build up, the direct hatred towards each other and everything like that. One thing Golden Boy know how to do is they know how to promote a fight, and they've been putting Canelo in good positions to have successful pay per view. So it definitely means a lot because you have people talking about when Anthony Joshua did 1.5 that maybe he's the face or he's the financial king of boxing. And I was telling people, no, not necessarily, because that's only 1.5 at $26 per buy. If Canelo just did 600 pay-per-view buys and we took the lowest number of $60, he still would almost match that. So if you're talking almost 1 million at $60, then he did a lot. So it's a good sign for what to be if we get Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin, but it's a good sign though.
All right, Bernard, let me get your reaction as well to those reports of that this pay-per-view may did over 1 million pay-per-view buys.
Well, in the words of our girl Adrian, 1 million fools lost that fight from this past Saturday. Uh, I'm not gonna. I don't want to say I'm not surprised. It's a rivalry fight. Mexicans support their fighters, so and the intriguing storyline behind it with Canelo being a young fighter starting as a pro at the age of 16 coming up versus Julia Caesar salad. The guy born with a silver spoon intends to fuck everything up and had the opportunity to change that, but he couldn't do it, as we saw. So that storyline right there was intriguing. Even though it's a rivalry, but technically the backstory was what took the front page. And that was it, man. I guess everybody was looking in to see if Canelo was gonna do what he's gonna do, knock a bigger guy out, get the win, and then hopefully get the Triple G fight this year.
I definitely didn't see this doing a million pay-per-view buys. I thought it would do more than Canelo's average of 300 pay-per-view buys, which he normally does. So I thought it would do more than that. Close to probably like the 500K range. You know what I'm saying? If not more. I didn't see it doing a million, which is being reported. Just lightweight. So we'll have to wait on the official reports in a couple more days, but if this is the initial report, I guess it must be good.
Can I say this real quick, Ryan?
Go ahead.
Technically, it's good for boxing in America in a sense that people say boxing is dead. For a fight like that to get him, even though the fight was horrible, but for people to still say, hey, after the Mayweather-Pacquiao situation with people for all that, and then they got the fight, which was pretty much basically well, we all told y'all that Mayweather Pacquiao, but to see that fight pay-per-view make a million pay-per-view buys, I think that's a good thing in boxing. Even though the fight was way worse than Pacquiao, hell, that shit was just as worse as Pacquiao and Chris Algieri. We still ain't got the numbers for that fight. So, bro, what the numbers? They say the numbers for that fight was? Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's the key word there. Allegedly.
Yeah. It was 200, 300 pay-per-view buys for that fight. I highly doubt that shit got 100. They won't tell you though. I mean, Bob Arum won't tell you.
I mean, but the million pay-per-view buys is definitely a good sign of boxing, for boxing as well. As you see, the arena sold out. 20,000 plus fans at the new T-Mobile Arena, I believe, which is where it was at in Las Vegas.
Hey, and quick question, I have to ask this: that's a week after the Joshua Klitschko fight, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 back-to-back big weekends in boxing. You did not. I'm just picture this aspect from it.
I mean, but at the same time, you got to think that the promotion was a good. They did a good job promoting this fight. As far as.
Okay, I totally agree. A
lot of people felt, we were going to get the old school Mexican rivalry bouts of the Barrera and Morales.
Yeah.
We thought.
Hold on, wait a minute now. When I first said that, I was just fucking around. I was trolling. I was in no shape, form, or fashion was I serious when I said that shit.
No, I actually thought we were, considering Chavez, Caesar Salad's style. I thought we were going to get a phone booth battle, and
that motherfucker. He gave you a battle, all right.
There's opportunities where he could have, and he didn't do it.
He threw that motherfucking fight. He said, "I got that." Did that? What you say, Bo? When Molina got knocked out against Joshua?
Yeah, the motherfucker looked over at the corner.
Yeah, did that check clear?
Did that check clear? No, you gotta go one more round. You gotta go out there one more round.
They were like, no, no, the check ain't cleared yet. So he took the 12-round beating, and once he got to get the check is cleared.
Man, Canelo said he got tired of beating him. That's how bad it was.
Shit, we got tired of watching.
No shit.
Like, damn, you know what? I was talking to, well, I don't want to keep bringing up the fight, but I said, man, if you were going to throw the fight, at least make it look convincing and let Canelo hit you with a body shot. It would have been realistic. And he would have curled over, take the 10 count, lay down there on the floor, and then get your paycheck. Shit. That's what I would have did. I'm gonna drink
You know,
I guess surviving was a moral victory. You know what I'm saying? Not getting knocked down and all that stuff. Uh, I don't know. I wonder how the Mexican fans really feel about this fight, though. What they still gonna support, I guess, regardless, because that's is a good thing. They stay supportive of the sport and the other people. And other boxers. But this was definitely a crap pay-per-view at the end of the day. And for it to do a million plus pay-per-view buys and be no quality at all, no substance to it, um, it's pretty bad. I don't want to say it's indicative of the sport, but they
well, no,
were.
and see, here's the thing. This what we gotta understand. Okay, it's not so much as indicative of the sport, but the reason why we say that the demographic of Hispanics and the support that they get and the demographics of the support that the Puerto Ricans get and all that is because they will support their fighters. Okay, let's keep it real. Blacks don't. It isn't that blacks don't support fighters. We just sheep in the motherfucker. We not gonna spend our money like that. I'm keeping it real. We always looking for that hookup. Like we rather go watch we rather go to somebody house where it's 20 motherfuckers and watch the fight there than for us to shell out
eat their
$60 and
food,
watch it.
eat their food.
Right. See, that's how we are. So right. So it's just a matter because that's the reason why people talk about Floyd, but that's the reason why Floyd was fighting on them days because Hispanic generally on that holiday they will support certain things that happen on that holiday. That's their thing, especially if one of theirs is in it. And we can learn from that because we don't support our like you got people that won't whether you like Andre Ward or don't like, which I don't understand and not liking Andre Ward. I mean, like y'all act like this dude, did something like I don't know, y'all act like Andre Ward. Y'all act like Andre Ward said something like animals are better than gay people. Shit like that. That's how y'all act like.
Yeah.
Message, motherfuckers. So, but yeah, that's all that is, man.
All right. So I guess you guys got anybody else got anything you want to add into this topic before we?
I mean, like I said, you had the back to back weekends in boxing, and I think we can look at it like that from that point of view. The 90,000. How much pay-per-view buys did they get in the UK?
1.5.
1.5. Then to come over. I mean, they showed it on regular. Not regular on the premium station, HBO and Showtime. So the views on that's almost over 2 million. But that is over 2 million. Excuse me. Then to come back a week later, 1 million pay-per-view buys. Shoot, we don't know what how it did in Mexico because I know the last time they showed a Canelo fight, it did 1 million something. Malachi can get the number for you, but I think we talked about it on our shows with the racism in boxing or the numbers in or either the pay-per-view numbers against MMA numbers and what was that Boxeo Azteca in Mexico? They had it over 1 million views. So we haven't even seen those numbers. But again, that's in another country. But boxing's not dead. It's just I'm surprised how it did in the United States with 1 million pay-per-view buys or almost 1 million pay-per-view buys with what happened 2 or 3 years ago with the Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather. So I think it's a good thing. Let's see what happens in September.
All right. So we're gonna go into our next topic, which is a pretty hot one, man. We've been talking heavyweights the last couple weeks, you know what I'm saying, as far as this Klitschko Joshua thing, Joe Joseph Parker and unifications and all this stuff. But pretty much we had something come up earlier Monday or yesterday with the number one contender, the mandatory for the winner of that Klitschko and Anthony Joshua fight, which was Anthony Joshua, WBA mandated #1 contender, Luis King Kong Ortiz of Cuba. He's threatened to take legal action if he doesn't get his shot nets. Which is what he was promised by the WBA by taking this step aside to allow this fight. I'm gonna go ahead and let Bo chime in. He knows a lot about this situation considering his connections to the people down there in Florida, in their training camps. Um, Pretty much give us a telltale of what's going on, man.
Well, Luis Ortiz, as a favor, decided to step aside and let the Klitschko and Joshua fight take place. He did it as a favor to Eddie Hearns, but he did it in confident that he would be the next person to get the shot with whoever won. And then, of course, the WBA was talking about they would give a special permit. That was being drummed up. Then the talks of IBF and Kubrat Pulev being drummed up. So Luis Ortiz, who didn't want to be skipped over again, was like, no, we're gonna, I've been waiting around for my title shot. I want my title shot. So he feels like he has a case, and he feels like this would be a good move to force them to fight him. Now, the thing is, and the reality is, the WBA has made this a fucked up situation because #1. When Luis Ortiz was the interim champion and Ustinov didn't want to take the drug test, well, they couldn't make that fight, so they stripped Ortiz of that belt. Then instead of putting him in the Shannon Briggs Fez Oquendo lottery, they left him out of that completely for that vacant belt after Bronny popped positive. And, once Tyson Fury retired and the WBA belt became vacant, it should have been 1 versus 2 for the vacant WBA belt. But like you said, they skipped over Ortiz, but he was like, okay, as a favor, I'll let it slide. So they've created this situation because since 2015, and I know it's people who don't like Luis Ortiz because he failed the drug test. It is what it is, whatever. My issue with that is the WBA didn't seem to have a problem with cats failing drug tests, giving them title shots when it was Bronny. So I don't want to hear that they should have a problem now. Right, that's right. So, and Shannon Briggs also failed a PED test. So the WBA had no problem with Bronny and Briggs. So I don't want to hear that about Ortiz. So Ortiz just wants his shot. The window of opportunity is closing, and he wants it now. But it's a really sticky situation because he's not going to take step aside money. The IBF don't play that pay your step aside. And Kubrat Pulev is next. And Vladimir Klitschko has a rematch clause. So it's a hell of a situation that's going on here. But Luis Ortiz just wants his shot. He wants to get in the mix with these guys because, he wants to win the title and make some money. And rightfully so. He's been waiting for this since 2015. So, we're going to have to see how this plays out. But I can definitely tell you, I have it on good authority. He's very serious if he has to go to court. He's very serious about this.
All right, Bernard, anything you want to chime in on with this one? Your thoughts about
it? Basically, I'm going to say this. I think he should. Because we got the situation going on in the WBC with, yeah, he should. I highly doubt Deontay Wilder going to call him out. If he got that information from who has said he's not taking step aside money. So I salute Luis Ortiz. Now the question is this, and I think I would like to hear both perspectives on this. If Luis Ortiz wins the lawsuit, and you got a situation where they say, hey, we'll give you the title shot, and the IBF admits their mandatory, hey, you got to fight Pulev, whatever his name is. The question is, if Joshua chooses Pulev over Ortiz, would that be considered a duck?
No, that wouldn't be considered a duck, and this is why I'm going to tell you. Joshua has to, and this is why, okay, in my opinion, I'm not going to consider it a duck because of this right here. Joshua has been the IBF champion a lot longer than he's been the WBA champion. And
Okay.
Kubrat Pulev has been the mandatory for the title for Joshua longer than Luis Ortiz been for Joshua. Luis Ortiz has just been the guy that's supposed to be up for that belt, period. So if he decide, well, listen, I want to hold on to my IBF belt, okay, because the WBA is willing to maybe allow him a special permit to fight. So if he's banking on that, then he fights Kubrat Pulev. I'm not going to say it's a duck because he has to make a decision. That whatever decision he make, if because either or, and some people are saying it's a duck because of how dangerous Ortiz is, but it's like it's kind of a tough situation. Like, do we fight Ortiz to appease the people, or do he fight Kubrat Pulev to hold on to his IBF belt? Because either way, he could wind up losing the belt here. But the
Right.
thing is,
Question is this. I will fast forward. He chooses Pulev or whatever. Defends his IBF, loses it. He's still technically the WBA and the IBO champion. If the IBO don't decide to put that belt up to grabs either in that match, he loses. Does he immediately go into a fight with Luis Ortiz with his confidence being possibly hurt, or does he get a? I don't want to say a tune-up, but a contender match for Ortiz? And I understand that's a question I need to ask because then it's like, okay, how long is you going to be able to keep holding Luis Ortiz back? My thing is this: if Luis Ortiz can't get it in the meantime, he should attack one of those old men who wins that belt.
I mean,
I
I honestly don't see them just putting the IBF title up for grabs against Pulev. It'll probably be both titles. I'm thinking.
right. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
Guys like
But see, the problem is though, Twan, if they do that, if they put both titles up for grab, then Luis Ortiz has a very strong case that wait a minute, you put the WBA title up for grab against the guy that's ranked lower than me and I'm the mandatory?
yeah, but you know, it's part of the fight.
If that's the case, should Luis Ortiz sue not just for Joshua if he can't get the shot at Joshua?
But I'm saying, like, how many times have we seen it to where only one title has been on the line? Like, we only seen that recently in the fight to which who was that was belt at 175?
Lebedev and Garcia.
Yeah, we've only seen that recently with a guy getting away with some shit like that. So you know, I don't see them necessarily putting one title up for grabs against Pulev. You know, initially I thought it may be a case where we may see Joshua drop one of the belts. You know, but you know, especially with this special hold permit thing that the WBA may grant him, it's looking like he may not have to after all. So you know. I mean, I'm all for him being able to keep both belts, you know, but you know these organizations got to give some leeway somehow, and
All right.
he's won the damn unified title. You know, give him a break, man. Give him a damn break. You guys got anything else you want to add to it?
I was going to say, why would Ortiz just sue? If he can't get the Joshua fight, sue also for the winner of Briggs and Nintendo or Nintendo. Why you can get that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, you know what? That's what the WBA got to give him something. At least if you can't give him the Joshua fight, give him that because we know we think is going to win that bout in June. Once that happens, the WBA can't accommodate him fighting Joshua. Give him the next man. Then force that WBA consolidation. You have one champion in the WBA.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems crazy, but
I don't think he now. I think Ortiz to get the super champ, man. He definitely deserves the super champ. I don't think he should be forced to fight the winner of Kendo and Shannon Briggs in the senior citizen bowl. You know, I don't think that's cool.
Why? I'm not saying that he should be forced. What I'm saying is you put a Demetrius in dry.
Nah, he's been waiting long enough, man.
No, that's no. You can't knock that. You can't knock that. Pull a Demetrius in dry. Keep yourself in there.
he was already interim and got struck for some stupid stuff. Like,
That
nah,
was the interim. That's not the interim bill. That's the regular.
nah, I wouldn't. Nah, I don't think it's fair to Luis Ortiz, man. He's been waiting for a while.
How long? But if
Nah,
he continues
too
to
long,
get
too
screwed,
long.
but if he continues to get, I understand that. But if he continues to get screwed, what else do you do? If he doesn't get the shot, they get who doesn't get the shot? What do you do now? You continue to wait.
Dude, like he's doing now, man. He's going for the gusto. Is he threatening legal action against Anthony Joshua or the WBA? That's my question. I think he needs to threaten legal action against the WBA. You know what I'm saying? If
I
that's
agree. He should. He should threaten. I definitely agree. He should threaten action against the WBA, not so much Anthony Joshua, because this situation was thrown on Anthony Joshua. It was an opportunity that he took, but the WBA has passed up Luis Ortiz several times, and we know this.
Okay, so I understand he's going for the super belt. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but should he, in your opinion, do you think he should go for the Demetrius and Scotty move?
nah, there ain't no buts in this case. In
I'm
order,
not asking you.
Hold on. You talking about pulling Demetrius Andrade move as far as fight the winner of that?
Yeah, fight the one on the regular belt.
No.
He's saying
No, he shouldn't.
he's saying
No, hold on, wait a minute. I understand what he's saying. No, he shouldn't, Bernard, and this is the reason why. He's the mandatory for the super. So why would you fight for the? See, he's the mandatory. He's the mandatory for the super. So if he fights for the regular, okay, then the WBA can definitely skip over him and never consolidate at all. Period. And Luis Ortiz to be holding that regular belt, like outside of Shannon Briggs and Faisal Kendo, who really fights for that regular belt in the WBA and heavyweight division? So he could be left out in the cold. But if he holds that super, he could be in the mix.
Okay.
all right. So we going
And
to.
I'm kind of really surprised that they actually had a mandatory for the super. The WBA don't usually give mandatory for the super. That really is a shock to me. To tell me the mandatory of the super is really the regular champion, but really the regular champion is not the super, according to the WBA. The interim champion is the mandatory to the regular. The WBA is fucked up. How they do it? Keith Thurman explained this shit. So
You're not gonna get no arguments here.
Yeah, politics as usual. You know.
Yeah. There's a lot of confusion.
All right. So we gonna go into our last topic of the evening, man. Artur Beterbiev, light heavyweight contender. He's trying to get out of his contract, terminate his contract with GYM Promotions out in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The stable that holds such guys as Lucien View, John Pascal, Adonis Stevenson, Leiter Alvarez. That stable there. Beterbiev is trying to get out of that. I guess, Bernard, do you want to go start off with this one as far as your thoughts or what you know about this whole situation?
What you talking about?
Huh?
Talking about?
No, he said you.
I was asking you, Bernard, if you want to go first.
Beterbiev is leaving Yvonne Michelle, right?
Nah, he's his promoter, GYM. Yeah.
That's his name, right?
Yeah.
So you said where you want to go next? Or you just want to leave? What's the reason?
He's leaving the promoter, I guess, for lack of, I guess he's saying inactivity. He's not getting the amount of fights that he's wanted, but he's actually up for the IBF title eliminator right now. They've just been struggling to find an opponent for him. Nobody's wanted to fight him in the title eliminator, including, Sullivan Barrera. He who turned down the fight. So they've been struggling to find the title eliminator for him. I can't say it's necessarily GYM's fault. At the same time, you got to remember Beterbiev had an injured shoulder. He was injured for a long time. So how can you be expecting to be fighting 5-6 times a year when you're injured? When you're injured the whole time. So I mean, it's one of those weird things, bro. Let me get your thoughts on it.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. There's parts of the claim, right, where it says that they failed to get him 6 fights during the first year of their deal, 5 fights during the second year, and 4 fights in the third year. Okay. The JYM also failed to pay him his purse within 10 days of each fight. So he said, and he's also claiming that he's not, for this fight that he got coming up that he had last June, he didn't receive the full purse of that until August of the same year. So there's a lot of turmoil and issues there with Beterbiev as far as him getting paid, getting the fights he wants. Now, let's keep one thing in mind. The Sullivan Beretta fight, there was a lot of back and forth. Kathy Dubin them claims and that, the paperwork came, didn't have a date or a venue. Then when we rescinded it, we got paperwork back. They had a venue, no date. But I personally think it was also over money because I think they the bid was less than $200,000. The purse bid for that fight was less than $200,000. So you have that issue right there. Then you also have the issue because this is the first time Beterbiev had issue getting an opponent. Remember, there was one opponent that they knew had a passport issue and was trying to make him fight in Canada. And they knew he had a passport issue. So they also try to make most of their fights in Canada. And that's just going to be hard to do, which is the reason why Don't Ask Chickenson is having trouble finding people because he always want to fight.
You can't motherfucking stay focused.
I'm talking. I'm explaining it. So
you can't stay focused.
when you have So when you have a situation like that where you have a promoter that only tries to make fights in one location, money as far as paying him and money as far as paying people to fight him, then he's going to be dissatisfied. Now keep in mind, all 3 of these guys, Alvarez, who took step aside money, Beterbiev, and Chickenson are all advised by Al Heyman. So we're gonna see how this plays out because he has a legit claim, but at the same time, and we talked about this before, is that if he's upset about money, if he's upset about not getting the fights he wants, and then like you said, Twan, he was injured. Okay, he sees what people have to understand is these guys are sitting when these guys are not in the mix. He's sitting back. He sees Sullivan Beretta. He sees Shabransky. He sees that guy who beat Eunice Gonzalez. What's his name? Bivol. I think that's his name. Bivol. No, that wasn't Bivol. Who's that guy that beat Eunice Gonzalez?
Shabransky.
No. Only
Vodzik.
Okay, he sees Vodzik. So he sees these guys in the mix. Andre Ward. He sees these guys in the mix. He's on the outside looking in, and he wants in. Okay. And he wants in, and he feels some kind of way about that. And him and and him and those guys all got the same promoter. He's probably like, man, how come I'm not getting in the mix here? These guys are making moves, making money. I want in on that. He feels some kind of way. So, but all honesty, I think he gonna also have to take into account that you're leaving a promoter like. Don't do the Luis Ortiz. Like Luis Ortiz left Golden Boy, and I felt he should have stayed with Golden Boy because with Golden Boy had you fighting Tony Thompson and Brian Jennings. You leave Golden Boy to go fight fucking David Allen and Malik Scott, and you was about to fight some Rossi guy. So don't make that mistake that Ortiz made. They've been sticking by you right now. Stick by them because the reality is you're not in the mix. You're not of value. You could go to a promoter that's going to pay you and do even less with you. Because you don't have no value right now.
But he has the management of Al Heyman, right? And he's been on PBC. But the promoter isn't not paying him on time. How did you feel? You're not only do you fight, you don't get paid till 3 months later or 4 months later. How does that look? That's not business. That's not nothing. Then you messing with that. You're a fighter. Then you also, well, you get paid late. You're also constantly waiting for a next fight. People are pulling out. It's like that. What are you doing? You know?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I agree. Being paid late, and and then I guarantee you're getting paid 3-4 months late, and it's not like he's making. It's not like, okay, 3-4 months later they're giving him $800,000. And then he has to wait like 6 months for another fight. Come on, man. Hey, money talk. Bullshit runs a marathon.
Yeah, and you got to think, man. I mean, I can kind of understand his beef. He's only had 11 professional fights at this stage of his career. You got to think this was a guy that was pretty much fast tracked on a Vasily Lomachenko type pace. Coming in, you got to think 2014. He knocked out Tavoris Cloud, who was one fight removed from being a world champion at a light heavyweight. So I mean, this was his fifth professional fight, I believe, when he fought Tavoris Cloud at that time.
Sure was.
He fought Greg Kennedy 2 fights later. So he was definitely fast tracked to be in the title position. So for him, I guess he's been going the IBF title route, which is another thing which has been an issue, getting that title eliminator done, which is something they are keen on. We even seen in the Errol Spence situation where he had to, go all the way to the 6th or 7th ranked opponent, because of the top 6 ranked people wouldn't fight him. They've been having to do this with Beterbiev right now. So it's just certain politics. I don't think he should really leave his promoter over this, though. They have put him in a position to get a title at the same time. Only 11 fights into his career. So I mean, you got to think about the win-win situation right there. You're one fight away from being in a position to fight Andre Ward for a title. So you got to think about it like that, man. You also were in a position to fight Sergey Kovalev before your injury. That fight was.
Well, that's what I'm finna say. Like, this guy was cited to fight Sergey Kovalev, right?
Yeah, he was in position to fight Kovalev as well. I'm not sure what happened with that as far as why they didn't take the fight, but he's had opportunities. I don't think it's a position where his promoter has been bad to him.
I mean, like I said, I'm just looking at him talking about leaving, and I'm just like, the only thing I could see it being successful is if he don't go to a promoter at all and tries to do the Mikey Garcia thing. But the issue is leaving, trying to go to promoter without any value. You could wind up with someone that's gonna, like Luis Ortiz. You go from fighting Brian Jennings and Tony Thompson to Malik Scott and David Allen, and he was about to fight this Rossi guy. So, he just needs to be careful. Make sure this is the right move.
Most definitely. Who would he go with? You got to think of who he would actually go with. He signed with Heyman. The IBF situation with him and Ward is already going to be good unless it goes the purse bid. You know what I'm saying? Lou DiBella definitely. I definitely think that would be a good sign as well. Give him some exposure outside of Canada with him.
What about Gucci?
What about who?
Not Gucci. Who was Andre Ward's former promoter?
Nah, he can't go to Rock Nation and be signed without Heyman.
No, I didn't say that. Not Rock Nation. I said former promoter. Who was the guy that was a former promoter of Andre Ward? The one before
Goosen passed away. I forgot what day is now. I think they're Warriors.
His son took over, right?
What?
Did his son take over Goosen Promotion?
Nah, Goosen passed away, and they're like Warrior Promotions, or I think they're Warriors now. I think that's what they are now.
Okay.
I may be wrong. I know there's some kind of faction now with the Goosen, some kind of Goosen involvement, but as far as the one that Ward was under, he passed away. Dan Goosen, I believe it was. But with that,
Dan Goosen.
Yeah, yeah. So Dan Goosen passed away, but there is some kind of Goosen entity going. I just can't think of which promotion faction it is. I think it's War. It might be Warriors Promotions though, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that though. So don't quote me there. With that said, man, we gonna close out the show, but I want to give a shout out to a guy that's been a guest on our show and also is a big supporter, out there, boxer, top contender at 140. You know what I'm saying? Junior welterweight, Regis Prograis. You know what I'm saying? He just had his card announced to be fighting on IBF on the International Boxing Hall of Fame weekend in New York.
That's
You know,
right. That's right.
yeah, June 9th, man. The Battle of the Unbeatens. He's going against Joel Diaz Jr., 23-0, 19 KOs. This is definitely going to be a big step up fight, as far as them, the clash of two top prospects, man. So I'm definitely
Hmm.
looking forward to it and big up to him fighting on this stage, man, being on Showtime. It's going to be on Showbox. So big up, man, on that. With that said, man, I guess we're going to tune out and we'll catch you guys on Sunday night when we do our regular podcast, The Movement. I'm gonna let these guys from the Truth and Facts About Boxing give you guys their their handles where they could where you could catch them at before we pass out. Go ahead, Bo.
You can find me at Truth and Facts About Boxing on YouTube. Subscribe, y'all. It's free. Damn. Also, catch me at Twitter at capital T for Truth _ capital F for Fact Box One. Also follow us on Instagram. Same thing. Lowercase Truth _ Fact Box One. Catch me right here on The Movement. My man Bernard. Y'all got missing fighters out there. Victor Post out, Tim Bradley. Uh, send
I
them
got
to.
one. I got one. I'm going to throw. I'm gonna put it on the Instagram page.
Okay. Send it to Bernard, and we'll get him out there looking for him. We you know what I'm saying, we'll shoot the skit for y'all. Also, you can follow us at Pound for Pound Boxing. Uh, Shout out to We Live, We Sleep Boxing, Guard Your Grill. Man, shout out to our boy 2K the God. He got to do his house duties. He got to do house duties. He got to vacuum, wipe the windows. You know what I'm saying?
Also,
Uh,
he does the baking. He makes
right, right. Yeah, he got to bake.
the cook
He got to,
the cookies and
yeah,
the
he got to bake.
Y'all put the
And
down service.
he got to bake. And they had a sale at Walmart on leg shaving cream for women and razors, and he had to go buy some. So, man, props to shout out to our man 2K. Shout out to our boy Big Cool. The Twinkie store was closing, and he had to get there before they closed to pick him up. He couldn't make it back on time. So, man, props to our boy Big Cool. And I want to send a special shout out to my man Rance Bartholomew, who will be fighting May 20th on the undercard of Crawford versus Felix Diaz. And mad shout out to my favorite fucking food that I just got to eating, Chickenson. Man, shout out to them. They make the best chicken there is in the world.
I gotta have my mute button ready, man.
I'm surprised you knew him though.
With that said,
I think that's some bullshit.
go ahead, but now give you a handle where they can find you at, man.
You can follow 2K as a boxing guy on Twitter.
I said George, man.
I'm gonna do 2K, man. I got 2K. You can find Big Cool at Colossal Boxing Talk on Facebook. You can follow us at The Movement on Instagram, DAMUVMENT that's the Instagram. And on Twitter, you can follow us at The Movement Boxing, DAMUVMENT Boxing. Basically on all the Facebook groups that are talking boxing logically. Not the casual group. Well, I'm in the casual group. I just look at y'all stupid. Asking them about, okay, I'm not going to say that bullshit. So we look at boxing each week. Of course, we got our Facebook page, The Movement Boxing. That's the best boxing, talking boxing bullshit. Man, and Fist Cuff Boxing. Man, get those guys a shout out. Other than that, basically, you catch me here on the round table next week. If I ain't doing anything,
Yeah.
Movement Talk Shoe Radio. And I'm gonna pass this one. But before I do that, let me say this. As always, shout out to Avio.
All right. As usual, I'm Twan the Divine Liberty of FoodJab.com. Yeah, you can catch me pretty much doing the movement stuff. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to our YouTube page, the Movement Boxing Podcast. That's DAMUVMENT Boxing Podcast. So subscribe to the page, man, and check us out. Until then, you'll catch us on Sundays, man. That's when we do our regular podcast. 5:30 p.m. Pacific broadcast time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check us out, man. Till then, peace.